One day, in the not-so-distant future, you will remember this YouTube video, and you will realize it's too late. We will all be living in a virtual prison with no liberties, no freedom of expression, only the choice to follow the rules or disappear without a trace. Full investigative expose. They told you it's about convenience. They told you it's about fighting crime. But the truth is, once paper money is gone, you will never truly own your money again. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that every euro you have is no longer in your wallet, no longer in a safe, no longer even in your bank account in the way you think. Instead, it exists only as code. Code stored in a government-controlled system, visible at all times to central authorities, traceable and, if they choose, freezable. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is policy in progress, and it's happening faster than most people realize. Europe is preparing to make the biggest change to money in modern history. And the cost isn't just financial. It's the cost of freedom. It's the cost of privacy. And if you listen closely, it's the quiet end of democracy as we know it. Part 1, the disappearing cash era. Cash is dying, and it's not by accident. Across Europe, the use of coins and banknotes has been in freefall for over a decade. In Sweden, fewer than 10% of transactions now involve cash. In the Netherlands, it's below 20%. Even in Germany, once considered a stronghold for cash lovers, ATMs are disappearing. Governments tell us this is natural evolution. The story sounds harmless. It's safer. It's faster. It stops criminals. They say a cashless society will eliminate tax evasion, protect citizens from theft, and make life easier for businesses. But history tells us something different. Every tool built for safety and convenience can also be turned into a weapon of control. When cash is gone, freedom is gone. It's that simple. And Europe is walking into this trap with its eyes wide shut. Part 2, China's digital leap. To understand where Europe is headed, we need to look east, to China. China was the first major economy to fully embrace the concept of a central bank digital currency, CBDC. They called it the Digital Yuan, or ECNY. It began with small pilot programs in 2020 in cities like Shenzhen and Suzhou. Citizens downloaded state-run apps, received free digital yuan, and could spend it on groceries, transport, even rent. At first, it felt harmless. Free money? Why not? But the real power of the digital yuan came when it merged with China's social credit system. Suddenly, money wasn't just a tool for trade, it became a tool for behavior control. Spend too much on wasteful items? Your social score drops. Post something critical about the government? Your account gets frozen. Travel too much? Your funds for buying tickets disappear. During the Beijing Winter Olympics, foreign visitors were required to use the digital yuan. The real goal wasn't just payment convenience, it was data. Every purchase was logged, analyzed, and stored. In China, if the government doesn't like you, they can make you vanish, not just from the internet, but from the economy itself. Part 3, Europe's blueprint from China. Western leaders often criticize China's authoritarianism. But behind closed doors, European central bankers have been studying China's CBDC rollout very closely. The European Central Bank's Digital Euro project began in 2021 with public consultations and technical reports. Officially, they say the digital euro will complement cash, not replace it. But history shows that complement is always the first step toward elimination. Internal policy discussions, some leaked, show that European regulators are exploring programmable money, funds that can only be spent on approved items. Real-time tax collection, where taxes are deducted instantly from transactions. Full traceability, every cent tracked from origin to destination. Once this is in place, Europe will have the same infrastructure for total financial control that China already uses. Part 4, how CBDCs actually work. CBDCs are not like Bitcoin or decentralized cryptocurrencies. They are centralized ledgers controlled entirely by central banks. In technical terms, every transaction is recorded in one master database, owned and operated by the government. That database can be programmed. What does that mean for you? Expiry dates on money. Spend it by a certain date or it disappears. Spending limits. You can't buy more than your carbon allowance of meat or fuel. Negative interest rates. Your balance shrinks if you don't spend fast enough. Geofencing. Your money only works in certain locations. With CBDCs, money stops being yours. It becomes theirs, and you just hold the permission to use it. Part 5, the loss of privacy. Cash is anonymous, CBDCs are not. With a digital euro, every purchase is logged. Where you were, what you bought, who you sent money to. AI algorithms can then analyze your spending patterns. They can profile your political leanings, religious beliefs, even predict your behavior. The argument, nothing to hide, nothing to fear, falls apart quickly when political winds shift. Part 6, control through money. We've already seen a glimpse of how financial control can be weaponized. And it didn't happen in China. It happened in Canada, a country most people see as one of the world's most democratic and free nations. In early 2022, thousands of truck drivers launched the Freedom Convoy protest against COVID-19 vaccine mandates and restrictions. They drove across the country to Ottawa, blocking streets and border crossings. The government's response shocked the world. Under the Emergencies Act, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's administration ordered banks to freeze the personal and corporate accounts of protesters without a court order. Ordinary people, truckers, their families, and even those who simply donated a few dollars suddenly found themselves locked out of their own money. They couldn't buy fuel. They couldn't pay rent. They couldn't even access savings to buy groceries. And here's the chilling part. This was done through the existing banking system, which still has some checks and balances. With a central bank digital currency, the process would be instant, automated, and irreversible. With a CBDC, the government wouldn't need to call your bank. It would be the bank. One click, and your ability to participate in the economy would vanish. Canada warning! If it can happen in Canada, it can happen anywhere. And with digital money, they won't just freeze your account, they'll delete your financial existence in seconds. With a CBDC, that process becomes instant and automatic. Disagree with policy? Your account could be limited. Buy too much unhealthy food? You could be penalized. Your financial life becomes a scoreboard, and the referee is the state. Part 7, the end of democracy. In theory, democracy gives citizens the power to shape government policy. But if the government controls your money at the most granular level, that balance collapses. Elections become meaningless when those in power can punish dissent by restricting your access to the economy. Part 8, why Europe is rushing. Debt crises. CBDCs allow instant negative rates and forced spending to stimulate economies. Monetary control. Instant stimulus or restriction without bank intermediaries. Geopolitical fear. Europe doesn't want to fall behind China's influence. Part 9, what comes next? The ECB says a digital euro could be launched by the late 2026. First, they'll make it optional. Then they'll gradually reduce physical cash access until it's impractical to use. Final warning! The last generation to hold paper money in Europe is alive today. Once it's gone, it's never coming back. And when that day comes, freedom leaves with it. The most dangerous threats don't arrive with a bang. They arrive quietly, wrapped in promises of safety and progress. The digital euro is coming. The question is, will you be ready for what it really means? Humanity as we know it is finished. This is Felix, and consider this your wake-up call. To those who believe they can escape the matrix, you can't. To those blinded by the sweet lies of your government, wake up before the trap closes. Like, and subscribe for more exposés they don't want you to see, because next time it might already be too late.